Good morning, party people! Hello! I know it has been so long since I have filmed. I apologize. I was moving back down to San Diego, and it just took a lot to move from LA to San Diego in this COVID time. But I wanted to show you all my apartment in LA and also show you a couple of apartments that had actually sold on my street. I understand that they look nicer than my apartment just because the flooring was a little bit nicer. I want to at least show you what we were living in and then what recently sold on the same street and just the crazy price difference between the two, and kind of tell you the story about why we decided to leave LA. So after 11 years in Los Angeles, Rona made us move home. We have decided to just move our entire lives back down to San Diego. And also I feel like there's this huge mass exodus of people leaving from cities like Los Angeles, especially San Francisco and New York. I keep reading all of these articles that are kind of crazy about how many available apartments and how the rents are just dropping in each one of the cities. But I wanted to show you the apartment that I've lived in for the last 11 years and tell you a little bit about it. So let's get started. So without further ado, here's my apartment and the last moments that I was in it right after I did the walkthrough with the landlord. Hey everybody, alright, so I just did the walkthrough with my landlord and everything seemed like it was pretty good. So that's why I've got my mask on still a little bit, but just wanted to show you guys the apartment and what it looks like without any furniture in it because it's huge and it's hard to tell when there's so much junk in here. So let's take a look. So from our front door, here's a little air conditioner unit. We had a huge front window. You can see the patches on the wall, but that's because we had stuff there and we patched it all up. But yeah, you can tell our apartment was really big. And as you walk in, there was a whole dining room and a coat closet and my kitchen, which has a dishwasher. And I know that the stove doesn't match, but that's because we were able to get my mom's stove. So we got my mom's stove, and it's a wonderful, wonderful stove. It's a Maytag, so it works really well. But just see my stuffs and our living room. And then we have our little tiny hallway right here. And then this one was my room for a really long time. See the huge closet that it had, or has. It was amazing to have a huge closet like this. It went all the way down there, all the way over here. And this bedroom is actually 15 feet by 15 feet, so it was quite a large room. And then when you come into room number 2, you can see that this one was 15 by 14. And it also had a huge closet. It even had an extra little closet over here, which let me make sure I didn't leave anything in it. Okay, we're good. But it was a great place. For 11 years. I loved it, but it is just time to go. So, let me show you the bathroom. This is our bathroom. They repainted it blue a little while ago. But yeah, this is it. This was my place. grab some lunch, and then hit the road. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is my apartment. I'm gonna start over here at the front door. Sorry, that's my little ring light hanging out. But yeah, come and check it out. So we've kind of created like a little sitting area over here for me to read. Here's Sloanie Baloney, she's sleeping. I just woke her up, little baby. But she loves to hang out in the window. I've got my workout clothes that are kind of near the door. And we also have all of the kitties' food over here in this corner and our chess set that my husband's father made. So this is kind of our entryway when you come into the apartment. Sorry about the mess. Like I said, I was packing up all of our records and I thought I wanted to show you guys around. So just excuse the mess. And then that mess back there is all of the cat's toys. So we also have Penelope sleeping in the dining room chair right now. But we've got this cute little round table and my rug. Got all of my cookbooks up on this shelf. Our kitchen is pretty big actually. It's got a dishwasher, refrigerator, all of that good stuff. And I think I might actually show you guys what the apartment looks like without everything in it. Once we move everything into the U-Haul, I think I might show you guys around as well. That's explore.org up on the television. They have a live camera that shows what's going on in Santa Monica at the beach. So I love to actually have that on during the day. So here's the apartment. I have my dad's old school Marantz and record player and also his speakers as well. They're from 1977. And that's when he bought them. So I'm gonna just turn around and show you guys what the apartment looks like from our hallway here. You can see it's a really big living room, nice sized dining room, and a nice sized kitchen. And that is our map wall. We have a bunch of maps up on the wall when you first walk in. Sloane's going to join me on this little adventure. Okay, so this used to be my room before Alex and I moved in to the main room together. Both rooms are the same size. I know it looks a little crazy right now because all we have are boxes. We got a bunch of free boxes that are U-Haul boxes. Found them on Facebook Marketplace for free, so we went and picked them all up. So I know that this looks like it's a disaster, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's not a disaster. Got our little picture of Penelope here and cute little bookshelf with a bunch of my family heirlooms on it. We have our bathroom here, which I love the flooring of the bathroom, which is like the only place that I love the flooring. And here's our bathroom. It's a really good size. I'll show you. It's not just an insert in the shower either. It's actually tile, which I really appreciate when it's not just an insert. Here's some. So that's our bathroom. It's a really good sized bathroom. And it even has a dimmer. So when you come in the middle of the night, it's not just super bright. I love that. And then here is our bedroom. This is the room that my roommates used to live in before Alex became my roommate and then eventually my boyfriend and then husband. So here's our bedroom. Sorry it's a little messy. It's just an impromptu video that I wanted to show you all where we live. I head outside, show you guys what it's like outside. We have our cute little stoop here. We have a working gate, which is also very nice to feel secure. Now, I do want to let you know, because I lived in the city of Los Angeles, like I actually wrote Los Angeles on my address, I was under rent control. So the landlord was not allowed to raise my rent more than 3% a year. And if you're paying about $1,000 a month, that means that they can only raise it $30 a month, one time a year. After a while, he just stopped raising my rent, which was really nice. So we paid about $14.50 for a long time. So we paid $14.50 for a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it also had 2 parking spaces, which in Los Angeles is a very big deal to be able to have parking on site and not on the street. I loved the location. The location of my apartment was wonderful. We lived in a part of LA known as Palms, and we also lived right across the street, like less than a block away from a Ralph's grocery store, which had a Best Buy, it had a California Pizza Kitchen, even had a Rite Aid and like a Supercuts. So just a little bit, like less than a block away, was all of these wonderful amenities that we could walk to. We always walked to the grocery store. It was really, really nice. The location was wonderful. Now the $14.50 was considered a very, very cheap price for the 2-bedroom, 1 bath with 2 parking spaces that we lived in. The reason I think that it was so cheap is because I had the lease for a decade and we were able to just live there for $14.50 for a long time. It was so nice. We did end up paying like a little bit more, but I'm just gonna say it was $14.50. Let's look at what a 2-bedroom, 1 bath is going for right now in that area. So I was able to find a condo for about $2,700 a month. You're probably wondering why I left. Well, we had been there for a really long time. We really want to buy our own place, but unfortunately in that area, prices were getting outrageous. I want to show you, there were 2 places which had sold in June. One sold for $980,000 and the other one sold for $800,000. Now, looking at the monthly fees for these places, it would be about $4,500 a month in order to make that kind of payment. And we were paying a little over $14.50. To pay $4,500 to live on the same street that I was living in for $1,400 a month or $14.50 for, I don't know, 8 years, 9 years, we were paying that $1,400 a month. And it did go up to $14.50. He'd only raised it that one time. We had an actual owner. It wasn't a company that owned us. And I think that made a real difference because I've worked for a property management company before and they will raise your rent every single chance that they get. Whereas a mom and pop owner of a 4-unit, once they get to know you, they might not raise your rent anymore. And that was the case for us. So we got very lucky. I mean, to a local, these 2 apartments they're overpriced. That's outrageous. To pay $800,000 or like $980,000 for an apartment on the same street, no, I would not do that. So it was our chance with everything that was happening with Rona, the opportunity that we had to be able to move down to San Diego and get jobs down here. We just decided, why not? Let's go. So we left the apartment. I mean, it's also, when you realize you don't really have a future to own. Also, I didn't really want my kids to be growing up. The schools there around the area were not rated very highly. I want my kids to go to a good school, public school. It gave us more reasons to leave. So we left, and that's why I have not posted in the last 2 months or so. But I did want to show you my apartment, show you how big it was because it was about 1,000 square feet, a little bit less than 1,000 square feet, and we had only paid $1,400 for so long, and I just felt really lucky to have a place like that. And I know there are people like Shelby Church who go out and look at apartments and they always seem so overpriced, especially compared to the lease that I was on. Now, I do understand that my lease was like more than a decade old, and that's why we were able to get such a great price. But you also need to take into consideration that we lived in a place that the mom and pop owners did not want us to leave, so they did not want to be raising our rent every single time that they had the chance to. They really wanted people to stay there for a long time, and I did. I stayed there for 11 years. It was a wonderful place. I loved the location. I loved how big the closets were. You see it. They're really big. I just feel super grateful that we were able to live in that place for so long and not have any trouble. I had wonderful roommates before I met my husband. I just feel like that it was time. It was time for us to go. It was time for us to move on and start our lives down here in San Diego. So I did. Anyways, guys, that was my apartment in Los Angeles. I will miss it. I already miss it, but it's time to move on, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. $1,400 with 2 parking spaces, or $1,450 with 2 parking spaces and 2 rooms, huge closets. It was an awesome place. I feel very blessed to have lived there for so long. But that chapter is now closed. So I hope you guys liked this video. Thank you all so much for subscribing, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!